Starrcade, that was the WCW event, or at least the equivalent of WrestleMania, and that's how it's looked at historically as well. Actually, for again, young fans, Starrcade actually was a few years before WrestleMania. But while you were there for Starrcade, did you think that WCW, as a whole, treated it like a WrestleMania? Did it capture that WrestleMania vibe for you?
No, because Southern wrestling is different. Mm-hmm. It was Southern wrestling. There's more of a suspension of disbelief from the fan base. They're into the fights more. They're into they respond differently. So WWE started embracing the showmanship and theatrics and the production of wrestling as opposed to the way Starrcade did. Mm-hmm. Starrcade, you would just build up a bunch of big matches. Like that will culminate in this pay-per-view each year. Like you'd kind of build up there was the old school wrestling form. You build up your biggest stars to have the biggest matches on the final this big show. WrestleMania was like, okay, we're building to the big show.
Yeah,
I'm saying that the show is more important than the actual than who's wrestling, like it is now. The WrestleMania brand is actually stronger than the WWE brand,
right?
Because it's the only thing that has remained over the years a very constant draw, and like every year it keeps topping itself, regardless of the strength of the show. You know what I'm saying? So the WrestleMania brand is probably the biggest brand they have. The Starrcade brand never would have ever reached that. It never would have reached that level. Like the way WrestleMania does. So people wouldn't be flying from England and Australia and stuff to watch like a Southern-based wrestling company put on a show.
Yeah, stadiums and
right. So it's like every year I've said before, the WrestleMania brand is when you think of wrestling, you think of I don't even think you think the typical fan is interested in the WWE. They're just more interested in WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
then. You were there in WCW from 95 till the end, I believe. Did you have any favorite memories from the Starrcade pay-per-views? Any matches? I know you were.
I can't remember. It was another pay-per-view in the card for me.
Right.
Because Starrcade was nothing like it was Starrcade, but then of course we had the Great American Bash. We had this kind of like But then when I started working there, we'd have a pay-per-view every month. Mm-hmm. So it didn't. When you're performing, you're not looking. Oh my God, Starrcade's coming up. You never thought of it that way. We got paid the same every 2 weeks. We weren't like WWE. We had guaranteed deals. We couldn't care less if we worked or not. Mm-hmm.